New study finds that prescribing fruits and vegetables can lead to better health for patients.
Did you grow up thinking all vegetables were good for you, only to hear now that some might be quietly working against your health? Back when food came from the backyard or a neighborhood market, you did not have to question every bite. But these days, how do you know which choices are still helping and which ones might be quietly doing harm? Today at the Hidden Menu, we take a deep dive into the 6 vegetables you should never touch after 60, and the 6 your body may still depend on. So let us start with 1. Vegetable seniors should avoid eggplant. It is easy to think of eggplant as harmless, just another colorful addition to the produce aisle. Grilled, baked, or tucked into pasta, it is one of those vegetables that looks healthy and feels wholesome. But for older adults, especially those managing arthritis, joint pain, or digestive sensitivity, eggplant can quietly cause more harm than good. Eggplant is part of the nightshade family, a group of vegetables that includes tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes. These plants contain compounds called alkaloids, which in some people can irritate the nervous system or trigger inflammation. That beautiful purple skin hides a natural chemical defense that not every aging body can handle. One retired nurse shared online that every time she ate eggplant, she noticed her knees swelled slightly the next morning. At first, she thought it was coincidence. Then, after cutting it out for a month, the difference became clear. And she is not alone. Nutritionists have pointed out that while nightshades are perfectly safe for most people, older adults with chronic inflammation, especially those dealing with rheumatoid arthritis or gout, may want to be more cautious. Eggplant in particular can be deceptive because it soaks up oil and seasoning, making it feel satisfying without revealing how hard it may be on your joints. Cooking it thoroughly can reduce some of the alkaloids, but not entirely. And because symptoms tend to show up slowly, swelling, stiffness, or subtle fatigue, many seniors never link it back to the food itself. Over time, those flare-ups can quietly chip away at comfort and mobility. The tricky part is, eggplant is often listed as a heart-healthy option, especially in Mediterranean dishes. But what is labeled healthy in general does not always translate well for an aging body. And by the time you notice the discomfort, that nightshade has already done its work. 2. Vegetable seniors should eat daily. Spinach. There is something timeless about a bowl of spinach. It brings to mind old cartoons, backyard gardens, and simple dinners where everything on the plate had a purpose. And as it turns out, spinach may still be one of the most dependable vegetables for those over 60. What makes spinach so useful is not just its nutrient profile, though it is packed with iron, folate, and vitamin K, it is also how gently it works with the body. Unlike some leafy greens that can irritate digestion or thin the blood too much, spinach strikes a balance. When steamed or lightly sautéed, it becomes easier to digest, preserving its benefits without overwhelming the stomach. One retired dietitian wrote that spinach helped her maintain healthy blood pressure and energy levels without the spikes and crashes other greens sometimes caused. For older adults managing heart health, spinach provides potassium and nitrates that support circulation. For bones, the calcium and vitamin K work together to slow natural density loss. And for the brain, studies have linked regular spinach consumption with slower cognitive decline. It is not a miracle food, it is more like a quiet helper. The kind that does not ask for attention but shows up anyway. Even better, spinach is versatile. It can go in eggs, soups, smoothies, or just sit quietly under a drizzle of oil. And because it cooks down to a fraction of its size, even a handful can pack real nutritional punch. There are very few vegetables that offer this kind of impact with so little downside. It is the kind of food that does not shout, it just works. For seniors looking to feel a little more steady, a little more supported, spinach is one of the simplest daily habits to build back in. 3. Vegetable seniors should avoid corn. For many of us, corn brings back memories of summer cookouts, potlucks, and steaming yellow cobs soaked in butter. It feels like comfort. But behind that golden sweetness is a starch-heavy vegetable that can quietly work against the body, especially in older age. Corn is high in carbohydrates and sugar, even though it is technically classified as a vegetable. For seniors managing blood sugar, weight, or digestive issues, that makes it a tricky guest at the table. One retired school principal shared that she always thought corn was a healthy side dish until her doctor pointed out that her glucose levels spiked noticeably after meals that included it. And she is not alone. Corn's glycemic load can cause blood sugar to rise quickly, then drop, leading to fatigue, hunger, and cravings that are hard to manage. Even more quietly, corn can be tough on digestion. Its outer shell contains cellulose, which the human body cannot break down. That is why you often see it again later, unchanged. For older adults with slower gut motility or sensitive stomachs, that can mean bloating, discomfort, or incomplete digestion. And while fresh corn is better than processed corn products, even the fresh version lacks the fiber and nutrients of darker, greener vegetables. It fills the plate but does not nourish the same way. Add to that the fact that much of the corn grown today is genetically modified and sprayed with pesticides, details not always visible at the store, and you have a vegetable that might not be as friendly as it looks. It is not that corn is evil, it is that for aging bodies it may no longer be worth the trade. 4. Vegetable seniors should eat daily. Carrots. There is something deeply reassuring about a carrot. It is one of the first vegetables many of us remember eating, sweet, crunchy, easy to hold. And for older adults, it turns out that simple little carrot still has a lot to offer. Carrots are rich in beta-carotene, a compound the body converts to vitamin A. That is key for vision, skin, and immune strength, all of which naturally decline with age. One retired optometrist once said she eats carrots daily, not because of the old wives' tale, but because she has seen what consistent vitamin A can do over time. For seniors managing dry eyes, poor night vision, or even recurring infections, carrots provide quiet reinforcement. They are also packed with antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation and support cell repair. That matters more with every passing year. Even better, carrots are easy on digestion. Whether raw, roasted, or blended into soup, they do not cause bloating or spikes in blood sugar the way some sweeter vegetables can. And unlike many health foods, they are affordable and widely available. Carrots do not ask you to make a special trip or learn a new recipe. They just sit quietly in the drawer, ready to help. Nutritionists often recommend cooked carrots for older adults, since the beta-carotene becomes more bioavailable that way. But raw is fine too. It is the consistency that matters most. A few each day, tucked into lunch or served with dinner, adds just enough steady support to matter. For something so ordinary, they have a way of making you feel just a little more steady too. 5. Vegetable seniors should avoid raw kale. Kale used to be the parsley on the side of a diner plate, decorative, untouched. But in recent years, it has been crowned a superfood, praised in smoothies, salads, and health blogs across the country. Still, what most folks do not realize is that raw kale can quietly work against older bodies, especially when eaten regularly. Kale is high in oxalates, natural compounds that can bind to calcium and form crystals in the kidneys. That might not matter when you are young and metabolizing fast, but for older adults, especially those prone to kidney stones or thyroid issues, it adds up. One retired military man shared that after starting a daily raw kale smoothie, he began experiencing stomach cramps and fatigue, symptoms he had never dealt with before. His doctor later traced it back to the oxalate overload. Kale also contains compounds called goitrogens, which can interfere with thyroid function, especially in people with pre-existing thyroid imbalances. Cooking kale helps break these down, but raw in salads or shakes keeps them intact. That matters when your metabolism is already slowing down and every system needs a little more support. On top of that, kale can be rough on digestion. The fibrous leaves are hard to break down, and for seniors with slower gut movement or acid reflux, that roughage can cause bloating and discomfort. It does not show up all at once. It is a slow wear, a quiet toll taken meal by meal. Many nutritionists still praise kale for its vitamin content, but the truth is that those benefits come with baggage if the kale is not prepared correctly. A good vegetable becomes a risky one depending on how you treat it. And unfortunately, most of the trendy ways to eat kale do not do older bodies any favors. 6. Vegetable seniors should eat daily. Broccoli. There is something about broccoli that just feels like home. Maybe it is the memory of steamed florets next to meatloaf, or a little dish of it drowned in melted cheese. Whatever the memory, broccoli has stuck around, and for good reason. For seniors, it is one of the most useful vegetables you can keep on your plate. Broccoli is rich in vitamin C, vitamin K, and folate, all of which support immune health, bone strength, and cell repair. But it is also one of the best vegetables for supporting detoxification. The compounds in broccoli, especially sulforaphane, help the liver process toxins more efficiently, something that becomes more important as we age and the body slows down. One retired factory worker shared that he never thought much of vegetables until he started eating broccoli every other day. Within weeks, he said he felt more energy in the afternoons and fewer digestive issues after meals. And it makes sense. Broccoli's fiber content supports gut health without causing the bloating some rougher greens do. It is also known to help reduce inflammation markers in the body, which is key for seniors managing arthritis, blood pressure, or general fatigue. Cooked gently, steamed or sautéed, it preserves its nutrients while becoming easier to digest. The taste is familiar, the texture forgiving, and the effects are steady. Broccoli may not be flashy, but that is exactly why it works. It does not demand attention. It just does its job, meal after meal. For seniors trying to eat smarter without overhauling their whole routine, it is one of the quiet heroes of the produce aisle. If these vegetables are making you rethink what ends up on your plate, drop a comment, give this video a like if it hits home, and subscribe to The Hidden Menu so you never get fooled by what seems healthy. 7. Vegetable seniors should avoid white potatoes. There is a kind of comfort that only a baked potato can bring. It is warm, filling, and tastes like Sunday dinner. But as we get older, that comfort can come at a quiet cost. White potatoes are heavy in starch, which breaks down quickly into sugar in the body. For seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or simply trying to keep weight and energy levels steady, that spike and crash cycle can quietly work against you. One retired truck driver shared that he used to eat mashed potatoes every night until his blood sugar readings started creeping up. When he finally switched to sweet potatoes, the difference was immediate. More stable energy, fewer cravings, less swelling in his feet. Potatoes also rank high on the glycemic index, meaning they raise blood sugar faster than many other foods. And because they are often fried or slathered in butter and salt, the impact multiplies. Even when baked or boiled, they provide very little fiber or lasting nutrition compared to darker, more colorful vegetables. The thing is, white potatoes fill you up without truly feeding you. That feeling of satisfaction fades quickly, but the long-term effects, sluggishness, joint pain, and sugar crashes, can build without warning. Potatoes are not evil. They are just not built for aging bodies the way other root vegetables are. And for seniors trying to stay sharp, steady, and independent, that makes a quiet difference worth noticing. 8. Vegetable seniors should eat daily. Beets. Beets are not for everyone. Their earthy flavor and deep red color have always made them a little polarizing. But for seniors, they are one of the most powerful vegetables you can eat, if you are willing to give them a second look. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which convert to nitric oxide in the body and help dilate blood vessels. That means better circulation, lower blood pressure, and improved blood flow to the brain. Things that become more important with every passing decade. One retired pianist said she started eating beets 3 times a week and noticed her hands did not cramp as much while playing. It was not a miracle, just a small, steady shift. Beets are also packed with antioxidants and fiber, which help with detox and digestion. They support the liver, regulate bowel movements, and may even reduce inflammation in joints. Some studies have even linked regular beet consumption with improved cognitive function in older adults. The best part is that beets are versatile. You can roast them, blend them into smoothies, or even slice them thin and bake into chips. And because they are naturally sweet, they offer a way to satisfy cravings without spiking blood sugar like processed snacks do. For those over 60, beets can act like a gentle tune-up, quietly supporting the systems that keep you feeling steady. They do not demand attention, but over time, they make their presence known in the best possible way. 9. Vegetable seniors should avoid bell peppers. Bell peppers look friendly, bright, crunchy, and often tossed into salads or stir-fries like they belong there. But for older adults, especially those dealing with acid reflux or digestive sensitivity, bell peppers can quietly make things worse. These peppers, especially when raw, can be surprisingly hard to digest. They contain compounds that may irritate the lining of the stomach or trigger bloating, gas, and heartburn, issues that become more common after 60. One retired nurse shared that she could never pinpoint what caused her nightly reflux until a dietitian suggested she try cutting out raw peppers. Within a week, her discomfort had eased. Bell peppers also belong to the nightshade family, a group of vegetables known to aggravate joint inflammation in some people. While not dangerous for everyone, nightshades like peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants can be subtly irritating to those with arthritis or autoimmune conditions. Most folks do not connect the dots because the symptoms build slowly. Stiff hands in the morning, sore knees that ache after walking. And since bell peppers are often labeled as healthy, they fly under the radar. Roasting or cooking them helps, but even then, they can linger in the gut longer than other veggies. For seniors managing delicate digestion, that matters more than it used to. A good food on the surface, but sometimes the wrong one beneath it. 10. Vegetable seniors should eat daily green beans. Green beans have never needed much attention. No bright colors or trendy labels, just a staple at dinners for generations. But what many people do not realize is that green beans quietly deliver a lot of what older bodies need. They are high in fiber, low in starch, and rich in vitamin A, C, and folate, all nutrients that help support vision, immune health, and cell repair. They are also easy on the digestive system, making them a rare vegetable that offers support without discomfort. One retired school principal said she started eating green beans with dinner most nights because they reminded her of her mother's cooking. What she did not expect was how regular they kept her digestion and how her blood sugar started to stabilize. That is the kind of effect green beans can have: slow, steady, and dependable. Unlike starchy vegetables that spike glucose levels, green beans help regulate them, and their gentle fiber content helps support heart health without the bloating that some other greens can cause. For seniors managing weight, blood pressure, or digestive changes, that balance is essential. Green beans also hold up well to freezing, making them affordable and easy to prepare in all seasons. Whether steamed, sautéed, or baked into a casserole, they keep their nutrients and their place at the table. Not all superfoods wear capes, and this one just happens to wear a quiet green jacket. 11. Vegetable seniors should avoid onions raw. There was a time when a slice of raw onion on a sandwich or burger felt like the finishing touch. Sharp, tangy, and full of flavor. But for older adults, especially those with acid sensitivity, that sharpness can hit a little too hard. Raw onions are known triggers for acid reflux, heartburn, and indigestion. As the gut slows down with age, it becomes more sensitive to compounds in onions like fructans, which ferment in the intestines and cause bloating and discomfort. One retired factory worker shared he had eaten onions his whole life, until one day he could not anymore. "I never thought something that small could make me feel so off," he said. Cooked onions are generally milder, but raw onions retain their harsh oils and fibers. For those with irritable bowel issues or a sensitive stomach, even a small amount can trigger days of discomfort. And it is not always immediate. Sometimes the irritation builds quietly over time, masked by other foods, or assumed to be part of aging. But when raw onions are removed, many people report fewer stomach cramps, better sleep, and reduced gas. It is not that onions are bad, just that raw ones stop playing nice as we age. It is worth asking, is the flavor worth the price your gut pays afterward? 12. Vegetable seniors should eat daily zucchini. Zucchini is one of those vegetables that rarely gets a spotlight. It is soft, mild, and often added more as filler than feature. But that softness is exactly what makes it valuable to seniors. Zucchini is packed with water and gentle fiber, making it easy to digest and helpful for maintaining hydration. It is low in calories but rich in potassium and antioxidants, which help reduce blood pressure and support eye health. For seniors managing digestion, weight, or cardiovascular issues, that combination is golden. One retired carpenter said he never cared much for vegetables until his wife started roasting zucchini in olive oil. Now it is a regular part of his meals, and he credits it with helping his blood pressure and keeping things moving without pills. Zucchini is also incredibly versatile. You can spiralize it into noodles, bake it into casseroles, or saute it with garlic and herbs. It does not fight with other flavors, and it rarely causes the bloating or gas that rougher vegetables might. Its softness makes it ideal for those with dental issues or sensitive stomachs, and its subtle sweetness offers a comforting taste without needing added salt or sugar. In a world of bold flavors and complicated diets, zucchini keeps things simple, and sometimes that is exactly what a body needs. If any of this made you pause before your next meal, share your thoughts in the comments, tap like if it helped, and subscribe to The Hidden Menu so you always know what is really on your plate. And remember, the truth is not always on the menu.